because thou hast rejected the word of Elohim, he also rejected you from being king. Right? In verse 22, Samuel says, have Elohim as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifice, as in obeying the voice of Elohim? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. And remember what I said about the Amalekites. When I read in Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 2, thus says Elohim of hosts, I remember that what Amalek did to Yisrael, how he laid wait for him in the way when he came up from Mizraim. Now go and smite Amalek, and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass. King Saul left something undone. He disobeyed the word of Yah. Now it's like rebellion, witchcraft, and stubbornness. That's what Yah says. When you don't continue, if you don't complete the word and you leave it undone, it's witchcraft. It's sin. It's iniquity. And it's stubbornness. He says stubbornness, rebellion, for being things undone. Y'all wanted everything destroyed. He didn't want none living. If y'all don't want nothing undone, leave nothing undone, you don't leave nothing undone. When y'all cleanse something, it's cleansed. He don't have nothing undone. And he told King Saul the same thing. Leave nothing undone. But he did not listen. And it caused Yisrael to sin. That's what he taught children of Israel, to sin even more. Because if you're looking up to a king. Now if the king obey y'all, then you ain't gonna obey y'all. Now if the king obeys y'all, then you gonna obey y'all. It's just natural like that. As a kingdomship. As a kingdomship. Let's go to Judges chapter 2. Thank you. Judges chapter 2. Verse 1. And the Melechie of Elohim came up from Gilgal to Bochim, and said, I made you to go up out of the Mizraim, and have brought you into the land which I have sworn to your fathers, your fathers. And I said, I will never break my covenant with you, and you shall make no league with the inhabitants of the land. You shall throw down their altars, but you have not obeyed my voice. Why have you done this? Think about that. Think about what Yah said come to you like that. Verse 2. And you shall make no league with the inhabitants of the land. You shall throw down their altars, but you have not obeyed my voice. Why have you done this? Well, if y'all come to you telling out that. Why have you done this? Y'all was asking a question. He's talking about the Yisrael. Yisrael, they don't get everything. They already got the land. Now they committing adultery with the people of the land. The Melechie coming in there and ask questions now. Why you didn't obey the voice of Elohim? Wherefore I also said, I will not drive them out from before you, verse 3. But they shall be as a thorn in your side, and their God shall be a snare unto you. And it came to pass, when the Melechie of Elohim spake these words unto all the people of Yisrael, that the people lifted their voice and wept. And they called the name of that place Bochim. And they sacrificed there unto Elohim. And when Yeshua had let the people go, the children of Yisrael went every man unto his inhabitants to possess the land. And the people served the Elohim all the days of Yeshua, and all the days of the elders, and that outlived Joshua. who have seen all the great works of Elohim that he did in Yeshua, and Yeshua, and son of Nun, the servant of Elohim, died before being 110 years old, and they buried him in the borders and the inhabitants of Timothy here, the mountain of Ephraim, or north side of the Gash. All right. If you read in Joshua how they got the city when they went in their lands. When they went in their lands, they didn't totally destroy all the people. They let the people stay there and live with them. And like I said, then they began doing sin as the people of the land. They became thorns to their sides. You know what I'm saying? Think about a thorn to their sides and thorns in their eyes. That's saying, the figure of speech saying they had pain. You know, they knew things weren't right. They were getting afflicted. They were getting persecuted after they should have already won the land. And y'all saying things like that, they were doing things undone. They didn't finish the task as y'all told them to do. If they would have finished what y'all had told them, they would have had no problems. That's why the Melachie had to come down and rebuke them in Judges chapter 2. Rebuked them. I said, why did you not obey my voice? Why did you not kill everything out the land like King Saul did? Like King Saul. It says obedience is better than sacrifice. Now they have to sacrifice now. They got to do a lot of things. Now they sacrifice themselves. Go to Numbers 33. 50-56. The Elohim spake unto Mushah in the plain of Moab by Jordan near Jericho, saying, speak unto the children of Yisrael, and say unto them, when you are possessor to pass over Jordan in the land of Canaan, then you shall drive out all the inhabitants of the land from before you, and destroy all their pictures, and destroy all their molten images, and quick pluck down all their high places. And you shall possess the inhabitants of the land, and dwell therein. For I have given you the land to possess it. And you shall divide the land by lot for inheritance among your families, and to the more you shall give the more inheritance, and to the fewer you shall give the lesser inheritance. Every man's inheritance shall be in the place where his lot falleth. According to the tribes of your fathers you shall inherit. But if you will not drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you, then it shall come to pass that those which you let remain of them shall be pricks in your eyes, and thorns in your sides, and shall vex you in the land wherein you dwell. Moreover, it shall come to pass that I shall do unto you as I thought to do unto them. I shall do unto you as I thought to do unto them. Think about that. That's what y'all saying. What he thought to do to them, he gonna do to you. Because you didn't kick them out. You didn't hurry them, pluck down their altars, their images. They become prick to your eyes, thorn to your side. And then y'all say he's gonna vex your soul. He's gonna vex you, man. You know when something vexes you? Like an irritable mosquito by your ear, vexes you. When mosquitoes biting you right now, you don't know where you're at, he's just straight tearing you up. He's vexing you. Just to think about the sin around you. If children of Yisrael would obey Yahuwah and clean out the whole inhabitants, as Yahuwah told them to do, they would have no problems. They did things undone. Same with us. We got a spiritual walk with now with y'all. Spiritual. There's natural and there's spiritual. There's a natural thing that interrupt our spiritual. Just like he said, if you got like you said, wicked women around you, they're always around you and stuff, they're trying to catch you to do sin, keep on. You're going to fall in sin, man. You don't say you don't clear the habits. You don't shut them down. You got people up there cursing around you all that time, let them know that in your workplace that you don't get down like that. You ain't trying to hear that stuff. You keep on letting it go on, it's going to vex your spirit. You got the rights to stand. You know, in your area where you walk around. You let people keep on robbing, stealing, killing around you and smoking drugs, getting high, drinking, and you don't put a stop to it. You will let them run all the way. It's going to vex you, man. Why you got to clear errands right there. Why you carry the rock condition. Y'all listen to you and how you carry yourself. You can stop all that. Clear the inhabitants. This is your inhabitants. You know, in your area where you work at, where you live at, you have that right to bring y'all in your presence. But if you don't bring y'all in your presence, let same people stand around, you don't kill the inhabitants, they will be pricked in your eyes. Throw it in for they're going to vex your soul. Just like Lot did. Lot was vexed. You know what I'm saying? And in Sodom and Gomorrah, you know, he let that overrun him. He had a chance to stand, but nah, he got it with the country, with the city. It started vexing his soul. He left undone. What he could have did, he said, I can't stand this, but I need to go back and find Abraham. But he got prideful and stayed. He got overran. Left things undone. Same with Jezreel. When y'all told him, when they get to the inhabitants of the land, your inheritance, clear everything out. Get all the images out there. All the sin. All the people that do wicked. Everything must go. But they choose not to. They did things undone. Then that's why they got vexed. That's why they got slammed in Judges chapter 2. Said right here, and you shall make no leagues with the inhabitants of the land. You shall throw down their altars, but you have not obeyed my voice. Why have you done this? Wherefore I said unto you, I will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be a thorns in your sides, and their God shall be a snare unto you. And it came to pass when the Melech of the Elohim spake these words to all the children of Israel, and the people lifted up their voice, and they wept. And they called the name of that place Bochim, and they sacrificed there unto Elohim. They wept. I'll be crying too. But y'all said I'll do the same thing as I choose to do to them. And that's what y'all was doing. You keep on reading about judges where they fell into some of these kings. You know, it's straight tearing them up. Especially one when Gideon, man, he was hiding in the wine press to do his work for the threshing of the field because they was coming and taking all the fields of the food and stuff. They had to hide the sheaves and stuff, man, the food and stuff. They were getting vexed. Living up in the mountains. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't live it out in the land. Being vexed. Because they did things undone. We cannot be undone around here. You know what I'm saying? Especially now when Yahushua is about to come back. Yah is coming back. Catch us undone. He's going to leave us with the unbelievers. He said so. Servants, I'll leave you with the unbelievers. I mean, man, drinking, you know, getting high, eating, adultery, fornication with the bland. When he come, leave you with the unbelievers. The undone. That's what Yahushua said. He called us to do a work. Called us to clean ourselves, keep ourselves pure. Called us to continue to keep his commandments, statutes, judgment. Then he called us to do a work, do about his father's business. Put meat in the storehouse. He called us to do all these things. We cannot be undone on these things. Last ones. 1 King. Undone. Start leaving things undone. 1 Kings 19. Talking about Elijah or Elisha. Verse 14. And he said, I have been very jealous with Elohim Yah of hosts, because the children of Israel have forgotten your covenant, throw down your altars, and slain your prophets with a sword, and I only am left, and they seek my life to take it away. He's talking about when Jezebel was after Elijah, and he ran. Verse 15, and Elohim said unto him, Go return thy way to the wilderness of Damascus, and when thou comest, anoint Hazael to be king over Syria, and Jehu the son of Nimshi shalt thou anoint to be king over Yisrael, and Elisha the son of Shaphat of Bel-meholah shalt thou anoint to be prophet in your room. And it shall come to pass that him that escaped the sword of Hazael shall Jehu slay, and him that escaped the sword of Jehu shall Elisha slay. Yet I have left me 7,000 Yisrael, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal, every mouth which have not kissed him. Okay? See how Yahuwah did this? Yahuwah had it where nothing will be undone. That's why Yahuwah do. That's why I like how y'all do it. If you mess up, he gonna take care of that. That's why he had Samuel. When Saul did not kill King Agar, Samuel killed him. Samuel straight took him out. He finished them. He didn't left nothing undone. Same thing. Let's go to 2 Kings chapter 9. Remember this prophecy. This was prophecy. Remember. 2 Kings chapter 9. Leaving things undone. It says right here. Verse 1. And Elisha the prophet called one of the children of the prophets and said unto him, Gird up your loins and take this box of oil in thy hand and go to Ramoth Gilead. And when thou comest there, look out there Jehu the son of Jehoshaphat, the son of Nishi, and go in and make him arise up from amongst his brethren and carry him to an inner chamber. Then take the box of oil and pour it on his head, and saying, Thus says Elohim, I have anointed thee king over Yisrael. Then open up the door and flee, and tarry not. So the young man, even the young man the prophet, went to Ramoth Gilead. And when he came, behold, the captains of the host were sitting. And he said, I have an errand to thee, O captain. And Jehu said, Unto which of all of us? And he said, To you, O captain. And he rose and went into the house, and he poured the oil on his head, and said unto him, Thus says Elohim Yah Yisrael, I have anointed you king over the people of Elohim, even over Yisrael. And thou shalt smite the house of Ahab, your master, that I may avenge the blood of my servants, the prophets, and the blood of all the servants of Elohim at the hand of Jezebel. For the whole house of Ahab shall perish, and I will cut off from Ahab him that pisses against the wall, and him that is shut up and left in Yisrael. And I will make the house of Ahab like the house of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha, the son of Ahijah. And the dogs shall eat Jezebel in a portion of Jezreel. And there shall be none to bury her. And he opened the door and fled. And Jehu came forth to the servant of his Lord, and one said to him, Is all well? Wherefore camest this mad fellow to thee? And he said to them, Ye know the man in his communication. And they said, It is false. Tell us now. And he said, Thus and thus spake he to me, saying, Thus says Elohim, I have anointed thee king over Yisrael. Then they hastened and took every man his garment and put it under him on the top of the stairs, and blew with trumpets, saying, Jehu is king. So Jehu the son of Jehoshaphat, the son of Nimshi, conspired against Joram. Now Joram had kept Ramoth Gilead, he and all Israel, because of Hazael king of Syria. But king of Joram returned to be healed in Jezreel of the wounds which the Syrians had given him when he fought with Hazael king of Syria. And Jehu said, If it be your mind, then let none go forth nor escape out of the city to go and tell it to Jezreel. And so Jehu rode in a chariot and went to Jezreel, for Joram laid there. And Ahaziah, king of Judah, came down to see Joram. And there stood a watchman. Now check this out. On the tower in Jezreel, and he spied the company of Jehu as came. He said, I see a company of, and Joram said, take a horseman and send to meet them, and let him say, is it peace? So there went one of the horseback to meet him, and said, thus says the king, is it peace? And Jehu said, what hast thou to do with peace? Turn thee behind me. And the watchman told, saying, the messenger came to them, but he cometh not again. Then he sent out a second on horseback, which came to them, and said, thus said the king, is it peace? And Jehu answered, what hast thou to do with peace? Turn thee behind me. And the watchman told, saying, he came even to them, and comes not again, and driving his like the driver of Jehu, the son of Nimshi, for he drive furiously. And Joram said, make ready. And his chariot was made ready. And Joram, king of Israel, and Ahaziah, the king of Judah, went out, each in his chariot. And they went out against Jehu, and met him in the portion of Naboth to Jezreel. Now remember Naboth, that's when Jezebel went and took her land, took his land, and had him killed for King Ahab. Verse 22, and it came to pass, when Joram saw Jehu, and he said, it is peace, Jehu. And he answered, what peace, so long as your whoredom of your mother Jezebel and her witchcraft are so many? And Joram returned his hand and fled, and said to Ahaziah, there is treachery, O Ahaziah. And Jehu drew a bow with his full strength, and smote Jehoram between his arm, and the arrow went out of his heart, and he sunk down in his chariot. Then said Jehu to Bakar, his captain, take up and cast him into the portion of the field of Naboth and Jezreel and Jezreelites. For remembrance how that when I and thou rode together after Ahab his father, the Elohim laid this burden upon him. Surely I have seen yesterday the blood of Naboth and the blood of his sons, says Elohim, and I will require thee in the plat, says Elohim. Now therefore take and cast them into the plat of ground, according to the words of Elohim. That's prophecy. Verse 27. When Ahaziah, the king of Judah, saw this, he fled the way of the garden house. And Jehu followed after him, and said, smite him also in the chariot. Remember, these are kings Jehu is slain. Jehu is slain. He's slaying kings. King of Yisrael and king of Judah. These are two kings fellowshipping. And then they're saying Jehu is leaving nothing undone. That's why I'm reading this. He ain't leaving nothing with like I said, with Jehu, with King Ahaziah, he says, and then with Jehu list, then the prophet Elisha will take out. Verse 27, and smite him also in the chariot, and they did so at the going up to Gur, which is by Abaddon, and he fled to Megiddo, and died there. And his servants carried him in a chariot to Jerusalem, and buried him in his sepulchre with his father in the city of David. In the 11th year of Joram, the son of Ahab, began Ahaziah to reign over Judah. And when Jehu was come to Jezreel, Jezebel heard of it, and she painted her face and tied her hair and looked out a window. And as Jehu entered at the gate, she said, had Zerah peace, who slayed her master. Yeah, she already got word that quick. And he lifted up her face to the window and said, who is on my side? Who? And there looked out to him 2 or 3 eunuchs. And he said, throw her down. So they threw her down, and some of her blood was sprinkled on the wall and on the horses. And he trodden her underfoot. And when he was come in, he did eat and drink, and said, Go and see now the cursed woman, and bury her, and for she is a king's daughter. And they went to bury her, but they found no more of her. Then the skull, and the feet, and the palms of her hands. Wherefore they came again and told him, and he said, This is the word of Elohim, which spake by the servant Elijah, the Tishbite, saying, In the portion of Jezreel shall dogs eat the flesh of Jezebel, and the carcass of Jezebel shall be as dung upon the face of the fields, in a portion of Jezreel, so that they shall not say, This is Jezebel. And Ahab had 20 sons in Samaria, and Jehu wrote letters and sent in Samaria unto the rulers of Jezreel, and to the elders, and to them that brought up Ahab's children, saying, Now as soon as this letter comes to you, seeing your master's sons are with you, there are with you chariots and horses, and fenced cities also in armor. Look even out the best and meanest of your master's sons, and set him on his father's throne, and fight for your master's house. But they were exceeding afraid, and said, Behold, 2 kings stood not before him. How then shall we stand? Look at that. They knew what's up. It says 2 kings couldn't stand before you. How should we stand? This is how Jehu went. Jehu said, take one of the sons of King Ahab, and put him on the throne, and reverence him. They came back and told Jehu that we can stand with you about 2 kings, and like we're going to be a fool. I like that. Verse 5. And he that was over the house, and he that was over the city, and the elders also, and the bringing up of the children, sent to Jehu, saying, We are your servant, and we will do all that thou shalt bid us. We will not make any king. Do thou that which is good in your eyes. Then he wrote a letter the second time to them, saying, If you be mine, if you will hearken to my voice, take you the head of the man your master's son, and come to me into Jezreel by the morrow this time. Now the king's son, being 70 persons, hear that, 70 persons were with the great men of the city, which brought them up. And it came to pass, when the letter came to them, that they took the king's son, and slew 70 persons, and put their heads in a basket, and sent him to them to Jezreel. And they came a messenger and told him, saying, They have brought the heads of the king's son. And he said, Lay ye them in the 2 heaps, in the entering and of the gates until the morning. And it came to pass in the morning that he went out and stood and said to all the people, Ye be righteous, behold, I conspired against my master and slew him. But who slew all these? But know now that there shall fall into the earth nothing of the words of Elohim. Look at that, this prophecy. Verse 10. Know now that there shall fall unto the earth nothing of the word of Elohim, which Elohim spake concerning the house of Ahab. For Elohim had done that which he spake by his servant Elijah. So Jehu slew all that remained of the house of Ahab and Jezreel, and all his great men, and his kinfolk, and high priests, until he left him none remaining. None. You see that verse 11? He done did none remaining. Jezebel, the 2 kings, come on now. All 70, boy, 70, the boy had 70 sons, man. 70 sons. All that pisses on the fence. Priests, high officials, everything. Jehu didn't do no work. He had everybody else do it for him. Nothing was undone. When you want to do something for y'all, you do it just like that. Even the king for Judah, it still gets me. He had no business with the king of Israel. Especially with that king, the son of Jezebel. Come on, son of Ahab. See how y'all do it? I'm trying to tell you, you get caught with somebody committing sin that know to do good, and you keep on staying with that person, you will get taken out too when it's time. King Ahazah didn't know that prophecy was coming to pass. Jehu, they knew Jehu was coming for business. Sent 2 messengers out there. They got behind. They weren't going back out. They already knew what was up. And the 2 kings were going to come and see what's going on. And they got taken out. They were trying to flee, getting away. And Jehu just hit a sword, hit an arrow, and shot it. And it went right straight through him. And the Ahazah running, and got taken out, king in the wrong place. Think about it. That preaches itself. We are kings of Yah, but being in the wrong place when the prophecies come to pass. Because Jehu, he didn't do nothing undone. He killed all 70, talking about to the eunuchs, who is on my side? And the eunuchs came and threw Jezebel out the window. And Jezebel already knew that. How did word get to Jezebel that quick? That you rebelled against your master? She already knew what was coming. She trying to get all pretty and stuff, blowing all that stuff, trying to sit out in front of the window like she's somebody. And Jehu said, who's on my side? And 3 of the eunuchs, 2 of the 3 eunuchs threw it off out the balcony. Blood hit against the wall and hit the ground. She done. Then all of a sudden the beast ate it up. All you see was her feet and her hands. And her skull, that was it. All shat out of Yisrael. You're real. And then talking about her sons all gone. Everything that pissed against her fence, that means every male that was kin to Ahab died. Even officials. If you was good friends with Ahab, you died that day. If you were doing business with Ahab, you making money with the king, you gone too. You have watch who you associate too. You know what I'm saying? Because Jehu wasn't taking no joke. He said he ran furiously. Dude was riding furiously. He talking about what secret? And talking about man Captain looking, what secret that man come and tell you? He told him the truth. And that's how they started rolling then. You know what he came for. He made me king. And they blew the trumpet. It was all over. It was all over. So I speak this again. Don't leave anything undone. When Yahuwah tell you to do something, don't be like King Saul. You be like King Saul, you rebellious, sin of witchcraft, stubborn. That's why it says better obey than sacrifice. Better be obedience. Do like Yahuwah said. Yahuwah kept the whole word. The whole word. If Yahuwah would have messed out, Elijah would have got it. Elijah didn't have to do no work. All Elijah had to do is be a prophet. You know what I'm saying? Jehu took care of his business. We need to take care of ours. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, if a king want to mess up, y'all slew him too. If Yahuwah slew kings, and they ain't doing the will, he slew 2 kings. That's why he said, how can we stand against you and kill 2 kings? Yahuwah says, you send one of those sons up to be a king. They came and said, nah. How can we stand? You don't slew 2 kings. We said, we a fool. We do something like that. They don't slew the king of Judah and the king of Israel, Yisrael. And you want me to put a king up? No. He said, you in a boundary now. You got fences, walls. You got a safe place. Put up a king. You got armies. Come on. Yahuwah already knew. Yah was on his side. We got Yah on our side. When we doing Yah's will, continue keeping his words, start judgment, Yah's on our side. We got to continue on doing this. All right. That's our sermon today. Leave nothing undone. I do leave the floor over to anybody in TV land. You hear this word that you want to be saved, you must believe and be baptized in Yahushua's name. Salvation. Always calling out for salvation. For somebody repent from their ways, their wicked ways, and come to Yah for remission of sins. You must be baptized in Yahushua for remission of sins. Again, I say salutations to Pastor Désiré and to all the churches in Kush. The bishop is coming soon. I'm working on it. I am coming. I'm excited. I'm pressing to the mark of the high calling of Yah. And my goals and my desires to be there to preach to you the good things of Yah. To all the pastors in India, bishops in India, Bishop Ron says salutation to around the world. Bishop says salutation. I speak blessings. May y'all bless thee and keep thee. May y'all make your face shine upon thee, be gracious to thee. May y'all live this come upon you, give you peace in Yahushua's name. May y'all make you ride on a high place of earth. If you do the heritage of Jacob, the heritage of Joseph, the heritage of Abraham, for the mouth of Yah spoken it, for the mouth of Yah spoken in Yahushua's name. Amen, amen.